Sometimes you might find an 18-year-old that's not mentally mature.
Right.
Then you might find somebody that's 15 that's mentally mature. Everybody's not the same. Mm-hmm. People that was there your whole life.
Okay, so all right, so he was always
he been.
Yeah. Welcome to the D-Loud Show. Like, share, subscribe. You already know the vibe, nigga. We outside. You know what I'm talking about? Free all the guys. You feel me? The woes and the bros. You know what I'm talking about? The GDs, the BDs, the Lokes. You know what I'm talking about? The Vice Lords and the Stones. Bring them all home. You feel me? Shout out to Queens Flip, G Money, Flip the Script Podcast. This is fair use. I'm giving my critique and my commentary. You know what I'm talking about? Let a nigga live. You feel me? I'm not trying to duplicate y'all shit in no form or fashion. I'm just literally trying to present something to my community and my people. You know what I'm talking about? So they can be aware of what the fuck going on out here. You know what I'm talking about? Because I know a lot of them don't be knowing what be going on.
Been there my whole life.
Okay, got it. Now, when did you have a one-on-one with him? That's what I mean. Like, when did you, okay, you part of the Zulu, so you a young Zulu. When did it first happen between you and Bam?
All right, one of the first times that first happened, I can't really tell you around when the first time happened, because like I said, a lot of the times, a lot of the situation, it just...
Is it blurry?
It's like you don't even... Some things you just basically forget completely,
okay.
And then certain things that trigger it and where it come out. But what I could do for you is I can break down, like, for example, I can give you examples. There was a time where it was me, my brother that got life in jail, and another one of my brothers. Mm-hmm. We was all in the apartment in Bronx River, and there was an episode that came on of Different Strokes where Arnold,
what show was that?
Arnold and Dudley, Different Strokes.
Let's do it.
The white shit?
No, the black joint with Different Strokes. Got the white dude, Mr. Drummond. You got Arnold, which is what's his real name? Yeah, y'all don't know who the fuck that is? Arnold and Dudley.
Yeah, I Google it real quick, man. It's been a long time, man.
Now he was in the store, in the basement of the store, and the dude in the store pulled out the Polaroid camera and started getting them to take their clothes off. Now that stood out to us because while we was in there trying to lift the weights in the weight, trying to flex our muscles, now he trying to convince us to take our clothes off. And he pulls out the Polaroid camera. Ooh, let me see your muscles. So we all looked at each other like it got real uncomfortable. So we slid off. So that was like, that's one of the moments that stood out. But with Bam's the type of dude, this is what he does. You go in the bathroom, he'll try to follow you in the bathroom. Like he giving you advice on how to piss. Then the first time he tried to actually break me in, he asked me questions about porno. Do you you watch porn? Like, nah, my moms ain't let me watch no porn. Well, you know you're supposed to jerk off, right?
What the fuck?
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So now he's introducing you to porn. And then while he's introducing you to porn,
this shit can't be
he
real.
pulls out the black book with all the Polaroids in it.
This shit can't be
And
real.
in this book, this book, you can never forget this book because you see every gangster nigga, I'm talking about killers, he caught them around the same age I was. So now you see these dudes and you see in their faces, he got dudes in the book with like, it's just terrible. It's terrible. So now this is how he's breaking you in.
I mean, what?
Sound like he lying.
What, naked? Just taking
Butt ass, naked, like just all types of foul shit. You see what I'm saying? And it's like whoa. So then he's telling you that you're supposed to jerk off. You got to jerk off because it's unhealthy for you not to. This is what he's doing. He's breaking you in. Then he gets you to the point to where that one day I finds myself in the room. That it's crazy because a few of the dudes that he actually molested, everybody went to jail for murder.
But let me ask you a question. Before you were in the room, did you tell him you've been molested before? Did you confide in him?
Nah, I didn't tell him that.
Okay, good.
I mean, first of all, you're dealing with the mind of a fragile, broken child.
This shit not funny.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
You may have. Sometimes you might find an 18-year-old that's not mentally mature.
Right.
Then you might find somebody that's 15 that's mentally mature. Everybody's not the same.
Nah, my nigga, hey, when you 18, my nigga, you grown. And when you 15, you know better. You crawling up on 16, 17, now, nigga, you fucking at that point. 15, we fucking. We fucking at 15. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are already robbing and selling drugs and all kind of shit at 15. So, nah. Hold up.
So he was dealing with somebody that he knew was already broken. But then you got to understand, too, you're dealing with a dude that's big as hell, a dude that got an army behind him, and a dude that was a master manipulator, because this same dude got every gangster from the community and got away with it and is still walking around. And to this day, so when you asking questions, ask yourself a question, because everybody that heard all the proof also knows that, like, for example, I seen Red Pill. Red Pill was talking, and he was like, yo, I ran into a few people that I know in restaurants that admitted that he got them too, that ain't gonna come forward. So everybody knows somebody that he got.
So the Black Book was basically to woo you, like, yo, look, these niggas did it.
That's his trophy.
All right.
Also telling you, like, nigga, you might be next. So you see who I got here. Like he bigger than you. He's strong.
Much.
He's stronger than you. If I can get him, I can get you. So
pretty much,
you stuck in the trap right now.
Then what he started doing, and see, you know what? A lot of shit I blanked out.
Right, bro.
But then after I put him on blast, I started remembering certain shit and certain people that was older than me, but still 10 years or 11 years younger than Bam, that Bam got. Now these dudes are of age. Bam will have me sitting there watching him giving these older niggas oral sex. Dudes that I looked up to. And the funny part about it is, when you sit back and you tell the so-called gangsters that's supposed to be around, you tell them like, Tafiq's younger brother, Ali Baba, molested by Bam. And
he naming niggas and everything.
it may not went down the way that it would have happened with certain other people, because some of these people had, you know what I mean, they grew up in the family. See, Bam was strong, but some people, like certain things you couldn't do to certain people, because then they would ask the question of, boys may have had something to drink in Bam's house, may have passed out, he may have woken up with his dick in Bam's mouth and couldn't live with it. So the next day, I guess after he went home and realized what happened, he came back from the story that Bam and Ahmed gave me. Ahmed is Bam's he used to be his roommate / man. Stories of people that got into it with him, and he a soldier too. He got locked up for shooting the police.
He bigger than you. He's strong. He's stronger than you.
Listen to, and
So
I'll give you an example.
I guess he's
That's
telling
like,
his life
I'm
story.
gonna call a name out. One name out. I'm gonna call, and he a soldier too. He got locked up for shooting the police. He get busy. Tafiq, police
He's
sergeant on the
speaking his
concourse.
truth.
Public information. He beat it. Public information. Got locked up for bodies too. Beat it. Public information. We all did. Tafiq, he was molested by Bam. He's supposed to be Bam's cousin. Tafiq's younger brother, Ali Baba, molested by Bam. One day, I'm not gonna call the other name out because dude's got sons, and I realize it brings out a lot of pain. But me, Ali Baba, and another dude that just came home from jail for murder like a few years ago, whatever the case may be. Now he's raising his children, proud of him. All three of us, we young boys. He got all of us up in there with a bottle of Vaseline and porn on, trying to jerk all of us off together. This is what the nigga do. You see what I'm saying? Running around, and now, you know, certain dudes talk about, well, you know, Bam said he liked to drink semen because it gives him power by drinking the boys, the semen's of little. Saying that, he came in there, he was looking funny. Ahmed said, yo, I went to the store. Mar said, I've been in the studio with both of y'all. B Stinger was in where he basically rubbing his penis in between your thighs and not going into your anal cavity, because he probably...
No.
My first experience when I went to Connecticut, I'm going to tell you how sick the nigga mind is, because he did the same shit to me. That's how I know B Stinger's not lying. Bam knew that there would be some physical evidence. So what he did was he thawed me as a young boy. He thawed me as a young boy. Where he basically rubbing his penis in between your thighs and not going into your anal cavity, because he probably realized at me being so.
No.
It's molestation.
Yeah.
What,
but I
what
mean,
else is it?
It didn't go. All right. Did he rape you or shit like that?
I mean, the reality of it is, when you look at Lord Jamal and some of these other celebrities that's breaking that know Bam. Bam told the world he didn't know B Stinger. King Zulu tells me, well, see, Joe Poe wasn't there at the time. It was separate. This is what he said. Now in the hospital, when I got to the hospital to see Bam, the first thing.
If you didn't speak to the guy.
Well, I'll tell you what. So now, when you go in Bam's house, this area right here, you literally got this much room to.
Hey, this was gonna be short, but this is serious. I'm hearing some shit that's really fucking me up. So I'm gonna let it play. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna let it play. Cause this is some wild bugged out shit. You know what I'm talking about? And I think he talking about Africa Bambaataa. That's what this shit say. Africa Bambaataa. This shit not a joke. It's not a game. I apologize for laughing earlier. I didn't know that he was serious. This nigga serious. He say something about getting died.
To walk past his bed. His room is small, his bed is big. Why was he in your room? He stabbed you in your bedroom. What was he doing in your bedroom? But what Bam answer was, he was saying that he came in there, he was looking funny. Ahmed said, yo, I went to the store to go get me a sandwich. When I came back from the store to get a sandwich, I heard Bam in the room screaming. I runs to the room to see what's going on with Bam. He's stabbing Bam, hitting him in his stomach. Ahmed went to grab him. Now, Ahmed is a black belt. Duke went stabbing him too. And then I guess, after Ahmed fought him off, he got away. He ran out of the house. Now you ask yourself a question.
So how did we know that? How we know the allegations that was against Bam then?
Well,
if you didn't speak to the guy.
Well, I'll tell you what. For one, the guy called up. He called up on Hot 97, and Star tell you this, and he was on the radio, and he tried to tell him that this is what Bam did, and they clowned him. Number one, number two, from people that dealt with the kid, he was telling them, the dude tried to get me. You see what I'm saying? I never personally spoke to Shorty.
Okay.
But this is what he said. Now in the hospital, when I got to the hospital to see Bam, the first thing Saladin is another warrior. Saladin was like, yo, Poppy, you get involved in this, you going to hell. So now automatically everybody's assuming that Bam is back to his old bag of tricks. I mean, the day that I went to Bam's house and he gave me the picture of the young boy that stabbed him, I goes outside, Joe Poe and King Righteous, King Zulu, tells me, well, see, Joe Poe wasn't there at the time. It was separate times, but both of them sitting up there telling me Bam got locked up in Brazil. They was with him for raping a boy in Brazil.
Well, how you got away? How you got out?
Because the politicians over there were Zulus. Zulu was big.
Gosh.
You got to understand something. You got Zulus all over the... First of all, Bam got Zulu camped in different countries all over the world. Y'all thinking, well, what's this Zulu stuff? Zulu's been around. And back in the day, Zulu was bigger than blood. More powerful. So when you sitting back and you analyzing this, I mean, the reality of it is, when you look at Lord Jamal and some of these other celebrities that's breaking that know Bam. Bam told the world he didn't know B Stinger. Lord Jamal said, I've been in the studio with both of y'all. B Stinger was in Zulu before I was even there.
All right, so we moving a little fast. Let's go back. So he tried to jerk you up. He tried to do some crazy stuff with the Vaseline, all three of y'all niggas. So from when he did that, it didn't go to molesting. I mean, that's considered molesting you, but it didn't go to like.
Man, that is molestation.
Yeah.
What else is it?
It didn't go. All right. Did he rape you or shit like that? That's what I'm saying. That's what. Like did.
Bam ain't never penetrate me anally, but what he did do, and I never really told nobody this. My first experience when I went to Connecticut, I'm gonna tell you how sick the nigga mind is, because he did the same shit to me. That's how I know B Sting is not lying. Bam knew that there would be some physical evidence, so what he did was he thawed me as a young boy. He thawed me as a young boy.
What's thawed?
Where he basically rubbing his penis in between your thighs and not going into your anal cavity, because he probably realized at me being so young, the damage, I would probably have to go to the hospital. he would probably have to answer. He knew that Bam is not stupid. So my first experience, and see, he can't call me a liar because at the end of the day, I know where the house is at. I know he owns a house in Connecticut. Bam can't. The reason why he played Ron Savage the way he played him, everybody knows me to be a son of Bam. So when I came forward, it was like devastating. It's like having a heart attack. You cannot deny it. On top of the fact that this ain't the first time, like, you got to understand something. Bam is like the boogeyman of little boys. Not just in Bronx River, Bronxdale, which was a L projects back in the day, nothing but killers. Soundview. He was the boogeyman. Lambert. Why do you think when you see Zulu now, most of the dudes are older dudes? You don't see too many young boys no more. Why do you think at this point in time with Bambaataa, he's giving the Zulu Nation a gag order to be quiet? Because there's victims that's still there right now that might tell.
So how does this work though? I'm trying to picture this. Not picture it, but
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to picture it.
yeah. But I mean, like I'm trying to envision. All right, so
He died.
you guys.
Do you really want to envision that? I mean,
No.
that's-
I mean,
we don't wanna
not
envision-
that.
come on,
I'm trying to envision like the timeline, like
That's
how
what
would
I'm saying.
happen. Like,
You
all right,
be
so
telling- you be paraphrasing. My
yeah.
fault.
So I'm trying to get a better vision of back in the days how this went. So everyone was Zulu. If you was all in the same projects, you guys are all kind of like family. So you kind of Zulu by default.
Facts.
He molested some of the young kids, young whatever. After that, you guys are still like a part of this. So you're a part of the Zulu. Like you guys go back to the house. Like when something happens you don't feel comfortable about, you still go back to Bambaataa and rep the team and the whole Zulu Nation and like could you mentioned earlier that you wanted to go get the dude that stabbed him.
Yeah,
That was after you was molested.
yeah, that was.
So how did you feel?
That was years later. That was actually grown man.
Okay.
Well, you gotta let me break something down because I already see where you're going with this. For one, you gotta understand. There's a thing called Stockholm syndrome. This is what they call it. It's just like in a lot of black people families, you'll have the daughter or the mother leaving the children with the grandfather, knowing that the grandfather raped her. I don't know how. I can't give you an answer to it. I can't
All
explain
right,
it.
Stockholm syndrome is feelings of trust or affection felt in certain cases of kidnapping or hostage taken by a victim towards a captor.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome. So when you dealing with Stockholm syndrome, which I found that word after all of this, I can't understand it. I couldn't even explain it to you. I couldn't give you an answer because I don't understand it myself. What I will say is like they said,
He
Jamie
got
Foxx
kidnapped. He got kidnapped. He said he got Stockholm syndrome.
said in the comedy.
I think they getting kidnapped or some shit.
No, not Jamie Foxx. Chris Tucker. Bambaataa was the uncle who paid my way to college and molested me at the same time. Bam was like a father to me. You see what I'm saying? He was like a father to me. I was close with Bam, like really, really close. And people gonna sit up there and say, well, why you didn't do this, and why you?
Don't say what. Don't say what you gonna say.
What you go ahead and you say what you say. Do what you do.
How long Bam been? How many years Bam has been molesting you? How many years? From
Honestly,
what age to what age? Or you
honestly,
blacked that out?
I don't really remember, but I know it was like it maybe my probably maybe 15 years old somewhere like around there. Probably.
Did that nigga just say 15 years old? He said 15. Now it's making sense. Because he said 15 earlier. When he said a nigga can be 18 to be immature. And a nigga can be 15 and be mature. So you was 15 and you was mature? Or was you 15 and you was immature? I'm confused now. Because you said the nigga who was 18 was immature. He could have a young mind. But hold on. Because you just said you was 15 when y'all went.
Probably around, honestly, uncle who paid my way to college.
So let me ask you something. Would you let a nigga jack you off at 15? Would you be at a nigga house when he sucking another nigga dick at 15? Would you let a nigga thigh you? And thigh you?
College and molested me at the same time. Bam was like a father to me. You see what I'm saying? He was like a father. Bam is back to his old bag of tricks. I mean, the day that I went to Bam house and he gave me the picture of the young boy that stabbed him, I goes outside, Joe Poe and King Righteous, King Zulu, tells me, well, see, Joe Poe wasn't there at the time. It was separate times, but both of them sitting up there telling me Bam got locked up in Brazil.
And the manager.
I can't say place. It's just real shit. A few people that I know in restaurants that admitted that he got them too. That ain't gonna come forward. Gangster from the community and got away with it and is still walking around. Supposed to jerk off, you gotta jerk off because it's unhealthy for you not to. You see what I'm saying? You may have. Sometimes you might find an 18-year-old that's not mentally mature.
Right.
Then you might find somebody that's 15 that's mentally mature. Everybody's not the same.
Projects, you guys are all kind of like
Exactly what
family,
I
so you
thought
kind
you
of Zulu
said.
by default.
Be around there when I started going, berserk. Because at one point in time, I started going berserk. It was like uncle who paid my way to college and molested me at the same time. Man was like a father to me. You see what I'm saying? He was like a father to me. I was
Oh, he paid your way to college.
close with them, like really, really close. And
This shit
people
getting
gonna sit up
crazy
there and
and
say,
crazier,
well,
boy.
why you didn't do this, and why you.
Don't say what. Don't say
Well,
what
go
you
ahead,
want to say.
go ahead and you say what you say. Do what you do.
How long Bam been? How many years Bam has been molesting you? How many years? From what
Honestly,
age to what age? Or you
Honestly,
blacked that out?
I don't really remember, but I know it was like it maybe my probably maybe 15 years old somewhere like
When did he start?
there. Probably around. Honestly,
That
it
nigga
had to be
said
around
15.
there when I started going berserk. Because at one point in time, I started going berserk. It was like shit just started going crazy in the streets.
Did you? I'm asking you a question. Did you feel affection towards Bam? Now, when I mean affection, like you felt obligated towards him, even though
this
he was
nigga
doing his thing.
retarded.
Did you feel
Did
it was
you feel
wrong, or you
affection?
just felt like
What the fuck?
it's a Zulu nation? Other niggas went through it, so it's like an initiate.
Zulu Nation.
Initiation.
That shit sound like some real gay
I felt
ass
like-
shit.
It was wrong, but I don't know. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. I couldn't even explain it.
Okay,
I can't explain it.
because you could have, if you think about it, at your age when you was going through. To me, my opinion is he took advantage of you because you was broken already. You know what I'm saying, and he got you on his side as a soldier because you even told me initiation.
Because at one point in time, I started going berserk. It was like
What age to what age? Or you
honestly,
blacked that out?
I don't really remember, but I know it was like it maybe my probably maybe 15 years old somewhere like
When did he stop?
around there. Probably around. Honestly, it had to be around there when I started going berserk. Then you say what you say, do what you do.
How long Bam been? How many years Bam has been molesting you? How many years? From what
Honestly,
age to what age? Or you blacked
honestly,
that out?
I don't really remember, but I know it was like it maybe my probably maybe 15 years old somewhere like
When did he
around
stop?
there. Probably around. Honestly.